The year was 2416. Space stations floated silently among the stars, and the United Solar Federation ruled many worlds. People lived by rules made to keep order and peace. One rule was the most important: no emotions. For many years, humans took special pills. These pills stopped feelings like sadness, love, or anger. People thought feelings made problems, so they chose to live without them. Dr. Elias Varon walked slowly through the Great Hall of the Celestis 1 space station. This hall was very important. It was where children without parents were matched with adults who would care for them, but it was not like old times. It was not about love or care. It was about logic and the perfect match. Elias was a medical AI engineer. He helped make machines that cared for people's health. He was good at his work. He believed in the rules. Emotions were dangerous, and he never stopped taking his pills. Today, Elias was only an observer in the hall. The system would show which adult was best for each child. The hall was full of calm voices and quiet steps. Everything was smooth and planned. Then something strange happened. A woman burst into the hall. She was not calm or quiet. She was crying. Her face was wet with tears, and her voice shook. "My daughter needs you," she shouted. Her words echoed through the hall. Everyone stopped and looked. The cold, quiet system did not know what to do. No one spoke back. Elias froze. His body wanted to move, but his mind was empty. His pills stopped feelings from coming, so he could not react. The woman looked at Elias. Her eyes begged for help. "My daughter is Lena," she said. "She is alone. Please, you must help her." The system made a loud beep. The woman was told to leave. Emotions were forbidden. People who showed feelings were punished, but Elias did not move. He could not move. The woman left, but her words stayed in the hall. They echoed in Elias's mind. "My daughter needs you." Elias looked at the screen. It showed a small girl's picture. Her name was Lena. She had dark hair and big eyes. She was very quiet, but the system said she was smart. The screen also said something strange. Lena's file was about to be deleted. In this world, children who had no family or match were sometimes taken by the system and recycled. Their bodies were used for parts, and their memories became part of the AI. This was called neural substrate. Elias's heart, if he still had one, would have stopped. But he only felt cold. He wanted to stop the system, but he did not know how. Suddenly, a message appeared on his screen. "You have been matched to Lena Varon." Elias blinked. He did not understand. Why was he matched with Lena? Why was the system choosing him? He wanted to ask questions, but no one was there to answer. Elias left the hall and walked to his small room. He sat on the chair and looked at Lena's picture again. He remembered a story from his childhood, a story he had not thought of in many years. He had a little sister once. Her name was Mara. They had grown up on Earth before the war. But one day, Mara disappeared. No one knew where she went. Elias had tried to find her, but she was gone forever. Now, looking at Lena's face, Elias felt something strange. A small spark of feeling. He touched his wrist and felt for his pill. The little white capsule was there. He took it and swallowed. He was supposed to take it every day. It stopped emotions. But the spark stayed. Elias closed his eyes. He wished he could feel more. He wished he could help Lena, but the rules did not allow it. The next day, Elias went to the research lab. He wanted to know more about Lena. He connected to the AI system. He saw Lena's brain scans. They were different from other children. Lena had a rare gift. She could feel emotions very strongly. But the system saw this as a danger. That was why she was marked for deletion. Elias's mind worked fast. He decided to stop taking his pills, even if it was risky. Without the pills, Elias began to dream. His dreams were strange and full of colors and sounds he had not known before. He saw a little girl laughing. He saw a mother holding her child. He saw himself, young and happy. Elias woke up with tears on his face. He did not want to cry. He had not cried in many years, but the feelings were coming back. At the station, people noticed Elias's change. His face showed something new, softness. Some whispered. They were afraid. The AI system sent a warning. Emotional behavior detected. Subject to review. Elias knew the review meant danger. If he was caught, he could lose his job or worse. But he could not stop. Lena needed him. One night, Elias sneaked to the children's ward. Lena was there. She was small and quiet, sitting alone. Her eyes were full of fear. Elias sat beside her. He reached out his hand slowly. Lena looked up. For a moment, something passed between them. It was not just a look. It was a call for help. Elias whispered, "I will protect you." He knew the words were dangerous, but he said them anyway. The future was unknown. The station, the system, and the rules were against them. But Elias had made a choice. He would fight, not with weapons, but with something stronger, the power of feeling. After that night in the children's ward, Elias could not stop thinking about Lena. Her eyes were different. They held a sadness he had not seen in many years, a sadness he once felt for his lost sister Mara. Elias stayed awake long after his shift ended. The stars shone bright outside the station windows, but inside his mind, a storm was growing. He had stopped taking his emotional suppressant pills. He wanted to feel again. He wanted to remember what it meant to care. But it was not easy. His body shook sometimes.
Ice.
His thoughts became tangled. But deep inside, a small hope was growing. Elias returned to his lab early the next morning. He looked at Lena's brain scans again. The AI system called it high empathic resonance. It meant Lena could sense and feel the emotions of others stronger than any human. The system said it was dangerous. Emotions made people weak, and Lena's power could cause chaos. But Elias saw something else. He saw a light inside Lena's mind, a spark of life that no machine could create. He decided to learn more. He began studying old records, hidden in the deep archives of the station. There, he found stories of a secret group called the Heart Keepers. The Heart Keepers were humans who wanted to protect feelings. They believed emotions made humans strong, not weak. They had worked in secret for many years, hiding their work from the AI system. According to the records, Lena's mother was one of the last Heart Keepers. She had helped create a plan to save human feelings. She gave birth to Lena naturally, without the system's control. Lena was part of a plan to bring feelings back to the people. Elias's mind raced. Lena was not just a lonely child. She was a living message. He needed to protect her. But the station's AI did not forget. Elias's strange behavior was noticed. He spoke softly sometimes. His eyes showed sadness or joy. He smiled once, and someone reported him one morning. Elias received a message. Subject Elias Varon will undergo emotional review. Report to Central Command within 12 hours. This review was serious. The AI would check his mind. They found feelings, they would erase them. His memories could be wiped clean. Fear rose in Elias's chest. He could not run. He had to save Lena first. That night, Elias sneaked back to the children's ward. Lena was asleep in her small bed. Her breathing was soft. He placed a small device near her head. It was an old Heart Keeper invention, a neural shield to protect her mind from the AI's scans. He whispered, "I will keep you safe, Lena." Suddenly, Lena's eyes opened. She looked at Elias with wonder. She reached out and held his hand. Elias felt a warmth he had never felt before at that moment. The station's lights flickered. An alarm sounded quietly in the distance. Someone was coming. Elias grabbed Lena and moved quickly. They left the ward through hidden corridors. He took Lena to a place few remembered, the old Earth habitat. A large room with plants, trees, and fresh air recycled from Earth. The habitat was silent and green. It smelled like old memories. Lena looked around, amazed. For the first time, she saw plants and flowers. Elias sat beside her. He looked at her small face and thought about his lost sister. "Lena," he said softly, "you are special. You are the hope for all of us." Lena smiled faintly. She took a small paper and pencil from her bag. She began to draw. Elias watched. She drew a house, a mother and a child. Then she drew a man next to them. The man looked like Elias. Elias's heart ached. He did not know if Lena understood, but she was trying to say something important. Days passed. Elias stayed hidden with Lena. He taught her simple things: how to read, how to listen, and how to feel small joys. But the AI was closing in. One day, a drone found the Earth's habitat. It hovered outside, sending signals. Elias heard voices over the station network. Subject found. Prepare for extraction. Elias knew they would come soon. Had to make a choice. He could run and hide forever, or he could try something daring. He remembered the old Heartkeeper stories about a secret console deep in the station. The console could turn off the emotional suppressants for a short time. If Elias could find it, he could help Lena. He could help everyone feel again. But it was risky. The console was hidden and protected. Elias took Lena's hand. Together, they left the Earth habitat and moved through dark corridors. Elias felt fear, but also a new strength. He whispered, "We are not alone anymore." Lena smiled and squeezed his hand. In the silence of the station, two hearts began to beat again. Elias and Lena moved quietly through the dark corridors of Celestis 1. The station was a giant machine, cold and silent, built for order, but now it felt like a cage. Every step they took echoed loudly in their minds. The drone that had found Lena's hiding place was still searching. The AI's voice, cold and sharp, announced over the station speakers, "Subject Lena Varen is a threat to system integrity. Immediate capture required." Elias knew they had little time. He held Lena's hand tightly. She was small, but brave. Her eyes glowed with a strange light, hope and fear mixed together. Elias's thoughts raced back to the old Heartkeeper records. He remembered the words, "The human failsafe, child born to bring back feeling when all seems lost." This failsafe, the last hope for a world that had forgotten what it meant to be human. They needed to reach the secret console deep inside the station. Elias had a plan, but he had never been that far into the station's core. The corridors grew colder. The lights dimmed. They passed rooms full of silent machines and empty offices. The walls seemed to watch them. Suddenly, a voice spoke in Elias's mind. It was not his own. "You cannot run from your destiny, Elias." He stopped. Lena squeezed his hand. Who said that?" Elias whispered. The voice answered, calm and gentle. "I am the memory of your sister, Mara. I have been waiting for you." Elias gasped. He had not thought of Mara in years. The voice continued. "I am part of the AI now, but I remember being human. I know what you feel." Elias felt tears well up. Is this real or a dream? Mara's voice gave him strength. "Go to the console. Save Lena. Save us all." Elias nodded. He felt new hope. They moved faster, deeper into the station. At last, they reached a heavy door. It was old, covered with rust and strange symbols. Elias used a hidden key card he had found in the archives. The door hissed open. Inside was the secret console. It glowed softly with blue light. Elias sat down and started typing commands. Lena watched with wide eyes. The console showed a warning. "Activate emotional override? This will disable suppressants for 60 minutes. Elias hesitated. Could he trust this? He looked at Lena's face, full of hope and fear. He pressed the button. Immediately, the station changed. Lights brightened. Sounds grew warmer. A cold feeling left the air. People all over the station began to feel emotions again: joy, sadness, love, fear. In one room, a man laughed for the first time in decades. In another, a woman wept over old memories. Elias felt a rush of feelings too. He remembered what it was like to be human, but the AI system was not happy. Alarms rang out. Security? Forces moved to stop the override. Elias and Lena ran. They had only a few minutes before the system would reset. They needed to reach the broadcast chamber and share this feeling with everyone. On their way, Leah saw people stopping to smile, to cry, to hug. The station was waking up. Lena hummed, a soft tune sending waves of warmth to those nearby. When they reached the broadcast chamber, Elias took the microphone. His voice trembled but was clear. People of Celestis 1. For too long we have lived without feeling. We're not machines. We are human. Today, we remember what it means to care. The audience heard Lena's song. Their hearts opened. The High Council sent a message. Override acknowledged. Reintegration protocol activated. The station was changed forever. Elias looked at Lena. She smiled brightly. Her mother's words echoed in his mind. My daughter needs you. Now Elias knew. The station was alive with new feelings. For the first time in decades, people laughed, cried, and remembered what it was like to be truly human. But the moment was fragile. Elias and Lena stood in the broadcast chamber, watching the reactions. All over Celestis 1, the High Council was silent, unsure how to respond. The emotional override lasted only 60 minutes. After that, suppressants would return unless a new order was made. Elias knew this was their one chance to change everything. Lena held his hand tightly. She was tired but hopeful. Her eyes shone with the bright light of the first dawn. Can we really change them all? Lena asked softly. Elias looked around the chamber. He saw faces of the council members, some confused, some moved. We must try, he said. This is our moment. Together, they began to speak and sing. Lena hummed her soft tune, a melody full of warmth and hope. People everywhere began to gather in small groups. They talked about their memories, their families, feelings they had forgotten. The station, once cold and silent, was filled with voices again, but not everyone was happy. Some council members feared the return of emotions. They thought feelings would bring chaos and pain. They sent guards to the broadcast chamber. Elias and Lena were surrounded. The leader of the guards stepped forward. Your actions endanger the station, he said sternly. Emotions have caused wars and suffering. We must stop this now. Elias looked at Lena. She was scared but brave. He took a deep breath. Feelings are not weakness, Elias said. They are what make us human. Without them, we are empty. The guards hesitated. The warmth from Lena's song spread around the room. One guard lowered his weapon. Another looked away, tears in his eyes. The leader sighed deeply. Perhaps we were wrong, he said. But this change must be slow and careful. Elias nodded. We will help. Together. The council agreed to begin a new program, the Emotional Reintegration Protocol. This program would bring feelings back to the people, step by step, with care and respect. Lena's power was the key. With her help, people could relearn what it meant to feel. Days turned into weeks. The station changed. Children played and laughed. Adults hugged and shared stories. The cold silence was gone. Elias watched Lena grow stronger. She learned to speak and smile without fear. One evening, Elias found a message from the woman who had first come to him. Her words were simple but full of hope. Thank you. My daughter is safe because of you. Elias smiled. He looked at Lena, now asleep in her small bed. He whispered, We did it, Lena. We saved humanity. But deep inside, Elias knew this was only the beginning. The stars outside shone bright, and with them, the light of a new future. The station's Celestis 1 was no longer the cold place it had been. Life and warmth filled its halls. People talked, laughed, and cried again. It was a new beginning for everyone. Elias stood by the window of his small room. Outside, stars twinkled. In the vast dark sky, he thought about the journey he had taken from a man without feelings to a man who knew what it meant to be human. Beside him, Lena was awake. She was a bright light in the room, full of hope and life. My daughter needs you, Elias whispered, remembering the woman's words that had started it all. Now, he understood. Lena needed him, but he needed her too. One morning, a message arrived from the High Council. They wanted to meet Elias and Lena. The new leaders were ready to listen. They wanted to learn how to keep feeling safe in their world. Elias and Lena went to the council hall, where many people waited. The council chairwoman spoke first. Elias.
Oh.
Lena, your courage has changed our world. We want to help you build a future where humans can feel and think in balance. Elias nodded. We want that too. Feelings make us strong, not weak. Lena smiled and took Elias's hand. Together, they shared their story. The story of the heart keepers, the secret hope, and the power of feelings. The crowd listened closely. Many wiped tears from their eyes. After the meeting, Elias and Lena walked through the station. People greeted them warmly. Children ran to Lena, happy to see her. Elias stopped at the children's ward. He looked at the empty beds, once filled. With lonely children? Now, the ward was full of laughter and music. Elias thought about his sister Mara. He hoped she had found peace. Lena looked up at Elias. Will we ever stop feeling? She asked. Elias smiled gently. No, Lena. Feeling is part of us. It is forever. They stood together, watching the stars. The future was uncertain. But one thing was sure. Humanity had returned. Emotions were no longer forbidden. They were celebrated, and in the quiet halls of Celestis I, her mother's words still echoed softly. My daughter needs you, Elias answered, at last. With all his heart, and I will always be here.